All right, hamster, the bedroom feminists just keep, they must be breeding like rabbits. They just keep turning up, and I found another one here. And she seems like a nice young lady, so guys, if you would, don't spam the comments section. Just, you know, be nice, okay? Rachael Waldorf, on being a woman. Trigger warning, guys, she quotes Lena Dunham in this video. Okay, Rachael, tell us what it's like being a woman.
Society tells us that as women, we are nurturers, need to be taken care of, are highly emotional, and are only real women if we are born that way.
Cis women, you know, born women, trans women, I guess, are women too. But, okay, sure.
We are told that we aren't the best drivers, shouldn't talk about the number of sexual partners we've had.
You don't want to talk about the number of sexual partners you've had. See, not being able to and not because you don't want to. Two slightly different things, Rachael.
Ask questions like, why aren't you married yet? If
I were to do a survey and ask you and, I don't know, 100 other girls, which gender asks you if you're married yet? Is it the men in your family or is it the women in your family? I would bet it's the women, and I bet you would say somehow, well, because that's part of the patriarchy and blame men for it. Is that what happened probably?
And accused of seeking attention for speaking our truths.
Our truths. Wouldn't your truths, Rachael, be your opinion?
Even through these obstacles, I recognize how many amazing, brave, and smart women have paved the ways for me and my fellow sisters to speak up.
Yeah, what are you really speaking up about, though? You see, that's the question we always have. You see, we're kind of giving you a little hard time here, but we also kind of want to understand where you're coming from. And we look around and we see there's some sexism, obviously, you know, there's some rape and there's other concerns, but it's not on the scale that you want to lead us to believe it is. So when you say we have a voice to speak up, is that to speak up and complain about things you already have, like equal rights, which you've had for decades?
Less than a century ago, we were not allowed to vote.
Yeah, and it was the men who pushed through the voting amendments. It was men who did that.
Less than 40 years ago was the first time a woman was seated on the United States Supreme Court.
Hey, Rachael, do you know who nominated Sandra Day O'Connor, Justice O'Connor? You know who that was? Was it Barack Obama? Was it Jimmy Carter? Was it John F. Kennedy? Was it Lyndon Johnson? Oh, no, it was Ronald Reagan, who was a Republican.
Less than 30 years ago, rape within marriage was made a crime.
All over the country, and I can't even believe that was the law. I really had no idea until I started looking into it. It's like, what? What the hell is this? But it comes from a long history, like 400 years ago, back when there probably really was sort of a patriarchy, and it's been dropped for the last 30-some years. So thank God. I agree 100% with that.
And less than 7 years ago, the ban against women in military combat positions was removed.
What ban hasn't been removed yet with respect to the military, Rachael? Would you like to take a guess? You look like a young girl. I bet you've just graduated high school. Do you know what the men in your high school graduating class had to do when they turned 18? Oh, you don't. Because it doesn't affect you. Something called selective service. You see, women want the choice to be in combat roles, but they don't really seem big on being forced at the point of a gun to do that. Isn't that nice?
There's no doubt that we've come a very long way.
Let me guess. But we have such a long way to go.
But there's still so much work to be done.
You know, it would be nice, Rachael, if you and your fellow bedroom feminists would just come out with a bullet-pointed list and just say, okay, this is what feminism is working toward. We will achieve our goal when these things are done. That would make it so much easier for the rest of us to understand exactly what feminism wants to do. Now, I think you and I, we know what feminism wants, right? And now that Alexandria Cortez and Bernie Sanders are kind of stirring up the political pot, I think that will become more of a Democrat Party plank. It's called socialism.
As a woman and a feminist, I've learned that it is important to lift each other up and to meet each other with more compassion and understanding. To lead with love and leave anger and hate at the door, even when it seems impossible. And as Leah Dunham once said, A huge part of being a feminist is giving other women the freedom to make choices you might not necessarily make yourself.
You know, you should talk to the Women's March organizers. They wouldn't let pro-life women march with them. See, and probably not women who stay home with their kids. See, because feminism is not about women making choices. Feminism is about women making choices that feminists want them to make.
I've been blessed to be raised by a wonderful woman and surrounded by strong female figures. And as I look around in my community, I feel a sense of hope, courage, and strength that is only growing stronger.
What about Dad? Did Dad help you out with your growing up and being a strong woman and all this stuff?
We are privileged each day to wake up and to make today better than yesterday.
You're privileged to wake up in the most female-friendly country in the history of the world, the United States, and other Western countries. You should be pretty happy about that every single day.
So here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them.
You keep saying the strong women stuff, and Rachel, I'm trying not to pick on you too much, but you expect us to understand that women are strong and powerful and all of these things. Some guy that you're not attracted to asks you out, and you file sexual harassment complaints against him. What you're really saying is women are weak and pathetic, but they have a very strong male-dominated government to back them up. Is that really, really what you're saying?
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, thanks. Another young bedroom feminist, and I'm not sure she is beyond repair. I don't think she's too far gone, but then again, maybe she hasn't been to college yet. You never know. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.